So I wasn't planning on doing this today, and I also wasn't planning on making it into a video, but then I thought, why not? So I'm here at my parents' house. Basically, I live between my parents' house and my boyfriend's house, and I had my books split between his house and here, and I had a big bookcase at his house, and I film all of my videos here as well, so I thought it would just make more sense to have all of my books here. I had enough space on my shelves, but then I bought a load of books, and now I've just got too many books and no space. So I have an old bookcase which was in the garage, so I'm going to move that up into here. I'm going to have a little reshuffle of the furniture, and then I'm going to sort through all of my books. I'm going to sort them out into books that I want to keep, books that I am going to sell or donate. And I have a vision in my head of how this is going to look, and hopefully it's going to turn out. So I think my first job is to clear the floor space, and then I'm going to have to remove all of my books and sort through those so that I can move the current bookcase and then find space for the new one. I'm starting. This is what it currently looks like. I know it's a mess, but I've got some books on the bed here that I need to sort through. The bag there is books that I am going to put up for sale on Vinted. So this is my current bookshelf, which is organised, but I need to redo the whole thing. And then here I have my TBR cart. So far, so good. So I've completely emptied this bookcase, and I have managed to fit my little one in, and there is enough room. So it does block this door, but this wardrobe door is broken anyway, and I don't really keep anything that I use daily in there anyway. So if I move that along a bit, I should have room for my TBR cart to slide in as well. So I'm happy with how this is going so far. Now I just have to organise the books. So this is what I have to sort through. So this stack, there's another pile behind, just as high, and I didn't realise quite how many books I have. So I have this book, and I've realised this is still in its packaging, and it's kind of making me want to go back and reread through all my Harry Potter books, because I find myself kind of going in and out of Harry Potter phases. I think mostly around autumn and winter I'm really into Harry Potter, and this time of year I just kind of fall out of it. But I want to read through this one now. One shelf down, another 10 to go. So I'm sorry if I sound out of breath, but I've just moved all of my books back in my room. So I'm struggling with what to do right now. So I have my TBR cart, and I want to leave that as it is, but I have a load more books that are now on my TBR which aren't going to fit on there. And then when organising this, I like to keep books together as part of like the series they're in, or all of the same author together. But then I have some series that are in this pile because I've read them, but then other books in the same series are in my TBR pile, and I want to put them together, but then I find it easier to have all the books I've not read in one place, so I know whether I've read them or not. So I'm in a bit of a dilemma right now as to how I am going to organise them. I'm thinking this bookcase is going to be all of my favourite books, and then this bookcase is going to be for kind of YA and younger ones that I probably should get rid of because I'm probably never going to reread, but because I loved them so much when I was younger, I just can't bring myself to get rid of them. So that's how I think I'm going to do it. And then once I've got the books on, I'm going to try and brighten them, spice them up a little bit, and put some candles and just some little trinkets on to make it look a little bit nicer. But at this point in time, am I regretting doing this? Yes, I was at the gym this morning. I'm knackered, but I'm hoping this is going to look really good when it's finished, and it's all going to be worth it. So the book space is cleared. This is what it's looking like right now. So the top is my Harry Potter books. I'm currently reading the second Zodiac Academy book, so once I finish that I can put that up there, and then I'm planning on buying the entire series, so that space there hopefully one day will be full of the Zodiac Academy. This shelf is kind of like my favourite series is, so I like to keep the series together, as I said. Down here I have the Vampire Diaries books. I don't know what the series is called. The first book's Evermore, but it's by Alison Knoll. There is more books which are on my TBR cart, but they're the ones I've read so far, so that's that shelf. And then these two, this bottom one is just kind of the only space that these books will fit because they're hardbacks and they're quite tall. So this shelf so far, this bottom one is kind of just random, and these are kind of like YA books, and then I have space at the top here. So I think I'm going to put some series that I have in full that are on my TBR cart in that shelf there. Then that will make some space on the TBR cart for the rest of the books that I have here, if that makes any sense. So I'm getting somewhere, and I think I'm going to have exactly the right amount of space. It turned out perfect, and I had just enough room. So my TBR cart is completely full. Then, as I said, this shelf is now done, so The After Me series, I've read the first 3 on Wattpad, but I'm assuming the books are going to be quite different to the Wattpad books, so they're on the TBR shelf, even though I've kind of technically read them, because next year I'm going to read them again, the actual book form. Then the books along here are the ones that I'm most excited to read. I have read Shatter Me already, but I just wanted to kind of keep the series together. So that's the TBR shelf on there, and then that's the full TBR cart. And then I've changed up this ever so slightly just now to try and make the books all fit, and this one is basically just kind of keeping series together, which I do like bookshelves organised in colour, but I don't know, I feel like I personally prefer my books as series and authors. That series there, I haven't yet read that, but it just fitted perfectly on that shelf, so that's technically TBR as well. But yeah, so now I'm gonna add just some decor to these shelves. And then these are the books I've sorted out. There's not very many, but I did donate a few the other day, so these are now all up on my Vinted account, and then if they don't sell within a few weeks or so, I'm just gonna donate them to that free bookshop and then get some more books, even though there's no room for them. But I just can't help myself. They are mostly kind of YA ones. This series I absolutely loved as a teenager, but I just can't really see myself rereading them, and I've kept the first one, Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging, just because that was my all-time favourite book as a teenager. But just to make space on my shelves, I've just kind of gotten rid of that series, which I'm sad about, but you know. And then I have a Vampire Diaries book here as well, only getting rid of this because I have 2 copies. And then again, there's just some more YA, some Pretty Little Liars ones. I put up all my Pretty Little Liars books on Vinted recently, and I've sold quite a few of them. There's just an odd few left. And then just some more YA, basically all just YA in here. This one, I'm only getting rid of this because I read it and it's part of a series, and this is like book 18, and I thought it could be read as a standalone, but a lot of it didn't really make sense, and I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to buy the previous 17 books just for this one to make sense to reread it. So that's what one's in the pile. And again, this one, I love this author, but I just don't think I'm going to reread this book. It's now done, and I just thought I would give you a little tour of everything that I have put on here. I stopped collecting pop vinyls a while ago, and the majority of my pops are at my boyfriend's house, but I kind of think I want to start collecting them again, just to like add on to the bookshelves. I want to get like some Disney ones, because at the moment I have Harry Potter ones and I have some Riverdale ones as well, but I feel like I want some Disney ones just to go on my shelf. And it is mostly candles as trinkets that I put on here, but I think it looks a lot better than what it did before. It looks a bit more tidier because the books kind of aren't like double stacked on each shelf. So the top shelf is the same as it was earlier. I've just added an every flavour beans candle. And then as my bookshelf previously, this shelf's the same again, so this is all of my Harry Potter books. And then I have some Harry Potter candles in here, so I have an Emerald 10 tier one, I have the Head Girl badge I got at Universal Orlando, and a Slytherin candle. So moving down, I have now filled the shelf. I think I showed it earlier with a gap in it. There's a gap there that will fit my second Zodiac Academy book, which I'm planning on finishing tomorrow, so this will be a full shelf. But on here I just have my Lego castle, Disney castle. I know it doesn't really match, but I don't have anywhere to put it, and I don't want it to get broken, so it's just going to stay there. And a candle. Moving down again, just added another candle and this little knitted bee. And then down again, I want to put some more on. This is why I want to get some pops just to like put in the space here. But with my Vampire Diaries books, I put this Elijah Michelson candle, which my best friend got me, and a Mystic Grill mug. This one down just again has a giant candle, so I want to get some little trinkets to put here. Then the very bottom shelf, I have double stacked it, and these are just journals and things. So moving over, again, there's not any room on the shelf to put anything. So just along the top, I have a Klaus Michelson mug, which again, my best friend got me, a candle, a money box, and then I have my wax burner with some wax mounts. And then I moved this print that I had by my bed just to put above the bookshelf that I made myself. It's not the greatest, but I think it looks cute. And then this again, there's not really anything to put on it because there's no room, but I've just put my TBR jar on the top, which I really need to update, and I stuffed a little Baymax in there because there was a tiny bit of room and I just love Baymax. Yeah, I don't know if this video was interesting or not. I just thought it might be fun to have filmed. So I feel like I have a cozy little reading corner in here now. I might buy like some big cushions or something just to kind of like put along that I can just sit back and relax, because my room here is the box bedroom, so I don't have enough room to get like a proper chair or anything in here to make it like a little library. But I am really proud of how it turned out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next week.